Namaste. Welcome to another episode of the Wellness Program for Nation Builders conducted by Unnati Healing Foundation. In our previous sessions, we have covered the physical well-being, socio-emotional well-being, and today we will be looking into the screen addiction. Today we have Dr. Deepak. He is a psychiatrist, associate professor at Basveshwara Medical College and Hospital, Chitradurga. He has conducted a lot of wellness program for children, and he's given more than 200 programs on radio regarding this topic. Dr. Deepak, welcome to our session. Doctor, we all know that internet and the smartphones have changed the world and our lives. We cannot imagine our lives without them now. There are a lot of both positives and negatives. Now, with the click of a button, communication has become very easy. We have access to a lot of information, access to a number of online courses, and so on. Shopping is made very easy. You can buy anything in anywhere, from anywhere at your home by just click of a button. Well, the list is endless. At the same time, the bad side of it, we see a lot of cyber crimes, cyber bullying happening, and too much of addiction to social media has brought about social isolation amongst people. Now, when we come to education, now with the pandemic situation, the schools being closed and the online classes are an unavoidable reality. Children are glued to their screens, and the number of hours they spend now is very high when we compare it to the pre-pandemic times. Teachers and parents are equally worried now. There's a lot of change in the behavior of the children. They are more frustrated, getting irritated for small things, doesn't want to give their smartphones even after their classes are over. There's so much worry and anxiety in the parents, in the teachers. So, doctor, please help us know what is this screen addiction, how we can overcome this, and how we can help ourselves and our children to overcome this and focus on what is required. So, Dr. Deepak, we welcome you to this session.
Good morning, everyone. As Madam has already given an introduction to the topic, I will be talking about screen addiction, whether it is a mental illness today, what are the boundaries, what are the issues, how we should deal with it. See, over the years, the mobile phones have come to market since last 20 years. Laptops, phone tops, everything is on our fingertips today. Each and everything we can access through our fingertips. With the advent of internet, which started way back in 1980, it has revolutionized broadcasting, information sharing, connecting individuals worldwide. Each and everything happens through internet today, and it has become a part, such a big part of our life that it would be very difficult to get off it also. So, what all we do today with our internet and through our screens? Assets are connected infrastructure, everything. In fact, each and we can anybody can assess what you are, where you are going, what you are doing. With your identification number, each and everything can be tracked. See, it will be like as if we get up with an alarm on our phone and we'll sleep with a smart watch on your wrist where it would even track your sleep. A day not far that probably your loo will also be flushed with by internet today. So that's how much it has intruded into our life. So coming to mobile phone data, see, I was going through some of the articles for this talk, I saw more than 70 to 80% of children today are engaging in online classes through mobile phones. Not many, only about 20% are using laptops or desktops or laptops. The number of mobile phone users in India was around was today it is around 80 to 90 crores, which was about 52 crores in 2013. 40 to 50% of them are smartphone users. And what data I'm giving is 2019 data, 2020 data. We don't know now as of now. Probably it would have jumped another 10%, I suppose. Most people, even in the rural areas, have smartphones today, and the internet penetration is very good. Thereby, most rural populations are also hooked to smartphone. 97% of smartphones are used to access internet. Bihar has recorded highest growth of internet users in 2018, which was about 35%. So the internet penetration has increased because of probably Geo, and they have started giving unlimited internet usage for a quite a meager amount. So people binging on data around 1 to 2 GB on a daily basis. See, just before Geo came into market, most people used to use data like 1 to 1.5 GB to 2 GB in a month, which is now happening on a daily basis. A great huge jump in the data usage of Indians. So why we are talking about internet addiction or screen addiction or excessive screen time? What are the repercussions? I would like to highlight a few incidences which have happened in last 1 year. We have heard in news that Telangana a boy was killed because of internet gaming. He went into an altercation with some other boy and he was killed. An young boy has failed in first year pre-university exam after he wrote all about how to play PUBG game. In economics exam, he did not know anything else to write. So there are quite a few incidences like this, and you might have come across so many people dying because of accidents caused due to taking a selfie at a very inappropriate place or a highly risky selfie maneuver. This is one video one photo which I had picked up from internet. This boy tried to shoot a slow motion video and he fell on his head and died instantaneously. So these kind of things are happening quite often today. There are a lot of physical and life-threatening complications happening because of excessive screen usage. Okay. See, there is in our psychology we talk about Maslow's life pyramid, where physiological needs is what we correlate to food, water, the sex drive. Safety needs are like having a shelter, belonging and love, being in a relationship, marriage, something like that. The highest is taking leadership roles in society. So now for a millennials, the whole Maslow's pyramid is totally different. For them, see, this picture depicts what all they require to just get on with day-to-day life. What happens with these kids are they would be very restless if their battery drains out, or they'll be very restless if internet is not functioning, or if internet shows that it is buffering, it becomes slow. Also, they become very restless. So why, at what instance we start calling it as an addiction? See, why we call it as internet addiction or screen addiction, why the addiction term is added to this is they'll have similar pattern of behavior compared to any other substance abuse. Say, for example, if we compare screen addiction to alcohol addiction, the people who would be using screen excessively would also find it very difficult to cut down on internet use or cut down the screen time. They will be annoyed if somebody is criticizing about their use. Similar to your alcohol. If somebody tells you drink excessively, the person who is drinking excessively would not accept or acknowledge the fact that what he is doing is wrong, and they would internally they would feel guilty that they have spent a lot of time on internet and they would feel bad. Have you they feel uh, okay, the first thing they do after getting up is to check their phones or check their social media accounts. These are the pattern of usage. What other questions which would make you realize that your team screen use is too much? Do you break off conversation to check your smartphone immediately when there is a notification which comes in? Okay, not only when notification comes in, there are people who keep on checking their phone even when there is no notification, for which we call it as ring anxiety. Without even notification, they'll be keep on checking their phones. They would unlock their phones more than 100 to 200 times in a day. Do you sometimes use your smartphone while talking to people? That's quite often. You come across youngsters or come across even elder ones who will be accessing phone while walking on the road. Causes a lot of issues for other standbys. Okay, there are some other questions. Okay, what are the symptoms of addiction? See, these are five salient features. Salience, the internet or the smartphone usage becomes most important activity of personal life, affecting feelings, behavior, and thought. Mood modification. The person receives a emotional buzz after using an internet. See, this smartphones or laptops today have become a digital bliss. A small child looking at a smartphone, he would see an array of colors, and off late the screens of these smartphones have become much better. It gives a kind of high seeing all those visual algorithms and the animations and all, which would cause a sense of high which is not visible in a normal day-to-day life. This itself gives quite a big kick for an younger children seeing at a screen. It would be very difficult for them to get away from the screen. They'll keep on watching, keep on staring at the screen because it gives them a high. It is as good as any other substance. Tolerance. Usually the person keeps on using the phone more and more to get that kind of sense of well-being. Withdrawal symptoms, abruptly if at all somebody takes away the screen time from them or takes away the device for which they are using to view the screen, they feel very restless. They'll start being annoyed, they'll start screaming. They would feel make life miserable for people around, particularly parents. Relapse. Addicts tend to fall back into the same behavior very easily even after years of abstinence and control. Couple of days we try to control their usage, later they'll easily get hooked onto the same activity. Okay, what are the types of screen usage? What all people do? See, there are different types of screen addiction. Some people would keep on watching social media, WhatsApp, YouTube, or even your Facebook, uh, Instagram, and there is something called as internet gaming disorder. These games are multi-centric, internet, multiplayer, active interface kind of games where the person who is playing getting into the game, he would not even realize how many hours he's spending on it, and this is causing people to become very violent, significant anger outbursts, to start telling lies to just play for a long time. Online gambling, excessive blogging, excessive social media addiction, then compulsive pornography. So this is again with children above 10 years of age would be they'll be explorative. They would try to see adult content online, and seeing that would make them feel very bad about their own bodies. They would feel some kind of body dysmorphic thought process would come into their mind because they feel that they are not good enough. See, all this pornographic content or content online may not be true all the time. What they do is they would change the morphology of those pictures, change the organ length, everything they would do. So, which would give a lot of wrong ideas for the children when they are exposed to such content online. Okay, there are some pictures I have posted. The picture talks more than 100 words. It depicts how addictive these are. Say, for example, what Facebook does, or what a WhatsApp or a Instagram. All these websites are giving us free accounts. What they are, how they are making money. For that matter, Mark Zuckerberg is one of the richest person in world today. How is he making money? He is selling our attention. What he is doing is number of people hooked to Facebook, number of people, n number of hours are spent on Facebook. That is what he's selling. He's selling ads to make money. So he's making like say he's making like probably every minute on Facebook anybody spends, he's making money on a daily basis. In minutes, he's making millions of dollars. So, whichever sites we are exploring free of cost, they are selling us. So we have to be very careful regarding how we curtail the use, how we maintain our social media usage. One more thing, what happens is like see all see for that matter Google or Prince Test or your Facebook, what they would keep a digital footprint of ours. They will see what all we are liking or what all digital trail we are leaving behind. They would create content which we are supposed probably more likely to like. So they would keep on feeding us content which would make us hooked to smartphones. Say for example, there is something called as digital algorithms or data engineers who mine whatever we have left out, left behind. Will keep on feeding the same thing. That is a big industry altogether. So this is what I was talking. Every 20 minutes on Facebook, these are astonishing numbers. What I put up. How many people are doing what kind of internet activity is happening online on screen. This is Facebook I have picked up. Similarly, you can talk about Instagram, Twitter. Every minute there are more than thousands of tweets which are coming out. WhatsApp. See, these days, most people on an average, if you take 15 to 20-year-olds, they'll be on more than 20 to 30 WhatsApp groups. Just imagine if somebody is sitting and trying to study with his phone on or her phone on, there will be an array of notifications pulling in, uh, keep on pulling in. We humans are not good at multitasking. Multitasking is a myth, if you ask me. We are good at unitasking. We should be concentrating on what we are doing to get the best results possible. Somebody is trying to sit and learn online, and most people are doing it on phone. The phone would not only stream online content what he's supposed to see. Similarly, there will be a lot of other apps or other social media apps or news apps which will keep on posting notifications. If they start concentrating on those notifications, definitely their attention span on the online content, online classes will go down drastically, thereby reducing the quality of learning. In fact, our phones are known to reduce our attention span, thereby phones are known to reduce our learning skills, and they will directly impact on the memory. See, you could what I usually say is, see, if you compare me in high schools, we used to by heart some numbers, say phone numbers of at least 10 to 12 relatives. We would tell it on at a go. But nowadays, it is very difficult to remember your own numbers. That's how much effect all these gadgets are having on our memory, on our learning skills, attention span. Okay. Toilet texting. See, it is one of severe addiction of screen time. Say people who text or use smartphones in toilet, they're more prone for E. coli infections, more prone for UTI infections, and more prone for attention span difficulties. They'll have some other anxiety issues. So this is, I wanted to depict that. That's why I put a poster. What are the reasons of this addiction? See, it's very easy to tell that children are hooked to phones. That is their problem. They are not going out and all. But just think back. Whatever they are learning about these devices, how what kind of information they have gathered from the house, from their parents, that's what would reflect. We parents would clearly put a very bad example for them. We have to remodel ourselves regarding how we use phones. Say, for example, parents are continuously screaming on the child that you are hooked to phone, whereas the parents are also doing the same. They assume that, oh, okay, just because I am older or I have other work to do, I can justify my usage. Children will pick up, see, most of the learning with children happens 70% through non-verbal communication. Whatever they see, they learn. I see n number of parents coming and complaining to me regarding excessive smartphone usage with their children. Whereas sitting on a consultation, the parent would be trying to access some or other notification on his phone, which would set a very bad example. And off late our actual social contact has gone down drastically. There are hardly any friends, even if we have thousands of friends on Facebook. Hardly see there is a study on the same. Out of 100 friends on Facebook, it would reflect to an actual only one friend. So 1:100 is the ratio for Facebook friends is to real life friends. They would not get any sense of well-being going out because hardly anybody to interact, hardly anybody to talk, and they don't even know how to talk and how to start a communication. So going online and creating their own digital identity would give them hype. See, there are you might have come across many teachers who clearly relate to it. That there are quite a few students who hardly get up an answer. They would not be bold to talk to anybody in the school physically, but online they might be something else. They would try to portray a different identity where they talk about anything and everything. They feel validated by their digital identity, and this itself creates a lot of contradictions within themselves. Offline they're something else, and online they're something totally different. So why do they get hooked to these screens? See, there is something called as Misolympic pathway in our brain. There will be a new dopamine surge from neutral tegmentum area to whatever pleasures of our life. So say, let us assume if we eat food, there will be a dopamine surge in brain which gives us a good feeling. Similarly, if we watch a good movie today, we get a dopamine surge in our brain. Thereby, that the thought gets reinforced. Thereby, we keep on doing this activity over and over again. Same thing happens when people see screen. Say they use screen for might be anything. Off late, binging on Netflix, binging on Amazon Prime is also a huge issue. I hear people spending more than 6 to 7 hours in a day on smartphone doing all these various activities. What happens? This also creates a similar response in our brain. Thereby they just can't control. They go back with any cues, just a phone in front of them, they would pick up and try to see, because it would create the same atmosphere in the brain where they would start feeling happy. This is the main pathogenesis behind the smartphone addiction. I've already told us. See, that is one thing. The other thing is people with underlying mild psychiatric complaints would also be very prone for screen addiction. People with anxiety, loneliness, sadness, uh, interpersonal issues in the family, or there is a marital discord between parents, the child is more likely to get hooked to smartphone. they would create their own space online, thereby they would not be bothered about these offline issues. People who are into substance abuse also are more likely to get into smartphone usage. And there are some children in school who are not good at studies. They feel quite bored with whatever is happening. They are also more likely to get into smartphone usage. And stressful life events, in the sense somebody not done well in exams, or have failed in exams, or probably they don't have a good history at school, or there is an history of child abuse. A history of child abuse might be from the parents or from somewhere else, or any sexual abuse. These things would make children to get hooked to digital usage a lot more. So while not just not complaining about child's usage on phone is not the end of the this thing. We have to explore what are the reasons for the same, whether there is an underlying some other issues which has to be explored, that has to be looked into. Okay, other what are the physical problems with excessive smartphone usage? See, about 7 hours, 6 to 7 hours of sleep is what is required, minimum requirement for a 15 to 20-year-olds. Along with that, the recent survey, Indian survey during the COVID times, they say that youngsters below 20 are using smartphones for more than 7 to 8 hours in a day. The average figure being 7.22, 7 hours 22 minutes. So like around 7 hours you're sleeping, another 7 hours you're on phone, which is totally sedentary. So you're left up with only one third of the day to do all your other productive activity. So if you take in an entire year, one third of a year is gone. So two-thirds of a year is gone. So probably around 8 months in a year we are wasting totally. And see, sleep definitely can't be compromised. Sleep is probably a free medicine to saturate our brain, saturate our mental health, and saturate our physical health. So sleep definitely can't be compromised. The other 7 hours of time online, what we are wasting, would create a lot more physical issues. There is an increased incidence of obesity these days, early onset of diabetes, because of sedentary lifestyle, a lot of gout, uric acid issues, a lot of metabolic problems are arising in younger age group today. See, while I was doing MBBS, we were seeing a lot of myocardial infarctions at around 40, 50 years of age. Now that has dropped down to 25 to 30 years of age. All this is because of sedentary lifestyle, and to a great extent, these smartphones contribute for the same. And people not sleeping at right time, they take their phones to bedrooms and keep on watching phone, staring at a phone. See, phone emits light, and for us to sleep, there is something in brain called as pineal gland which secretes melatonin. This melatonin is very important to initiate our sleep. It switches on sleep once there is no light. If we keep on feeding light to our eyes, the melatonin secretion will not start, and thereby they would not sleep. So lack of sleep is also causing a lot of mental health issues and physical health issues with children who is exposed to excessive screen time. Again, see, most of our relationship, most of our conversations are not happening in a right way these days because of excessive usage. The image, it is very frequent. If you just have an eye for all these things, you can clearly see these kind of things happening in a day-to-day life, a day-to-day basis. See, this is again very common. People, a family sitting on a dining table, everybody is hooked to phone. They are not even bothered what they are eating. This is again a very common occurrence in our day-to-day life. The parent is playing, would take their children to playground, but they would be hooked to their phone. They are not even bothered about what is happening. Okay. Okay. Coming to an important part of your today's talk, how to avoid this, and how we should manage our smartphone usage. The term we use for this is digital detox. Digital detox refers to a period of time during which a person refrains from using electronic devices connected to an internet such as smartphones and computers. This has to start happening at home. Most popular prevention method to avoid addiction to tech devices. Moreover, digital detox is an opportunity to reduce stress and focus more on interaction with others. See, that's what I'm telling. Once you're at home, the parents should also keep themselves away from the phones. They will see that, and then we have at least a moral right to tell our child not to use phones. Keep have gadget free intervals. Say properly, start from small things. While having food, keep all your devices at some other place. Don't take it to dining tables. Have a good conversation with your children. That would go a long way in reinforcing to the children that okay, fine, my parents are hearing to what, how was my day, how I am doing, what is happening. That goes a long way. Digital detox provides time to experience nature, get physical exercise, practice mindfulness, unplugging on a regular basis, helping us maintain a healthy balance of in real life activities and with digital world. Digital detox is a way to disconnect to reconnect. This word I like the most: healthy digital diet and digital nutrition. So see these internet, I have all of last 20 minutes I've spoken about how badly internet is affecting us, but without internet definitely we can't function. Neither the parents can function, nor the teachers can function, nor the students can function. So this is an important ingredient of their life which they have to use judiciously, and we have to make them learn how to use it judiciously. Start small and build up gradually. Start on first day by not looking at your phone for 15 minutes, next day for 30 minutes. Take a several 15 minutes break. And you can also, what you can do is you can encourage your child not to use a digital electronic device for one day in a week, and you also do the same. It goes a long way. See, it's always better to by leading through an example. You can go to say some, there are some resorts or where networks are not available. Probably plan in the next holiday, you can plan to go to a place where you are off your networks. Yeah, this I have already told. Designate a regular unplugged times for everyone during the day, particularly important during meals. That's because a busy family schedules means that dinner is the only time during the day when families sit down together. Without the distraction of screens, the family communication improves. Unplugging before the bed is also essential as it gives nervous system time to unwind from ongoing stimuli of screens. Which these 2 points I've already explained. Very important. You can also create screen free zones in your house where nobody uses their screen. Say for example, if we have put children for an online class, probably in certain room, in in your living room or in your study room, you can restrict the screen usage to that place in the room, house. That's all. Kitchens and dining hall, bedrooms, you can make it as a digital free zones. Maintain certain areas of course. Yeah, plan technology free family activities. Taking children to a circus or start playing a new game with your children. Probably you and them learning together would also go a long way. Outdoor sports, swimming, dance classes, all these things. See, they would also start I was talking about dopamine surge in brain which happens with the any other pleasurable activity. Similarly, their dopamine surge will also happen with these kind of physical outdoor activities, which again reinforces them to go offline and use can get pleasure out of other activities also, and which these physical activities and sports activities or dance, any of these extracurricular activities would improve their communication with others. They probably will make more friends. They'll start discussing with them. And see, the peer group is very essential. All the online peer group would enable this online behavior. Have having an offline peer group, having real friends, what they'll do, they'll just observe them, what kind of activities they are doing, how they would spend quite a bit of time with each other, and they would influence each other's behaviors also. There are so many things which we learn from our peers compared to our parents. So we learn and unlearn a lot of things. What things we are doing badly, if some of our peers does it, we can clearly relate to it and start learning that we should not do it. And similarly, what good things our peers are doing, we'll learn and start doing that on our own. Explain, see, most things, most important is the children are not told about what are the good effects and bad effects of excessive screen time, how judiciously it should be used. Most often we start complaining, probably start getting into an argumentative mode with younger ones. It's always good to sit and talk, tell them what it would cause, give them examples, stop, and it should if the children are more than 10 years, it should always be like how we should be in a negotiating terms, how what is happening, how you should be using your phones, how to detox, how I am doing it, what were our issues. See, definitely I'll tell you, each and every individual today is addicted to excessive screen time. Each and everyone, including myself, we have to start restricting our screen time. It is high time that we start doing, and we have a proper plan for all these things. A digital detox can help them cultivate healthier self-care routines and ways to calm down. For example, simple meditation or breathing practice, drawing or journaling about what they're feeling, or an offline hobby that that plays on their strengths. In summary, everyone needs to find their own way to create a digital detox, and parents need to help kids and teens to do the same. As a result, a habit of regularly unplugging will reap a magnitude of benefits. Okay, digital detox can be very very helpful for most people, and there are certain set of people who are excessively addicted. For them, they would definitely require some sort of psychological help. It is always good to take children to a psychologist or a psychiatrist, talk to them, and they would start exploring. I was already talking about some underlying psychiatric symptoms which would make them prone to excessive screen time. That needs to be explored. If there is an underlying anxiety, any old abuse history, or somebody is bullying them at school, the other things also should be explored, and that should be targeted to control their screen time. See, this is what I wanted to talk regarding excessive screen addiction. Any other questions? If at all it is there, we can address those. Thank you. Thank you for the patient hearing.
Thank you, Dr. Deepak. It was a very detailed explanation of the ill effects of the internet and how, without our knowledge, we get into that. Symptoms of addiction, and what are the disorders of addiction, and how we can come out of that. And the facts that were given on 20 minutes usage of Facebook, the numbers are simply stunning. Well, we got to know a lot of things that we didn't know about. And coming to the prevention methods, the digital detox, a very nice concept to reduce our stress and improve our interaction more. As parents, we are worried about healthy diet and nutrition. At the same time, now it is the time for us to worry about healthy digital diet and digital nutrition. As parents, we have to detox ourselves first. Create no screen zones at particular places in the house. Create a time where all of us should be free and not use our screens. These are some wonderful tips that you have given us. At the same time, and another important thing is, with children, instead of getting into the argumentative mode, negotiating with them and share with them how as parents we have tried our best to detoxify, share our methods and help them overcome their screen time, because many a times children also feel guilty that they have spent a lot of time on the screen. So we have got some excellent tips today, doctor. So by adopting all of them, I think we should be able to bring about a change in our lives and also in our children's life. Thank you, doctor.